Hello and welcome back to yet another episode of Tuesday Tips with the Watch Kaki, and with me today is my assistant George. He's wearing, I don't know, some kind of a Captain America shield in time for the festive season. And in today's video we are going to look at this method which I use to prevent watches from slipping and sliding on your wrist, especially when the weather is very hot and when you're sweating a little bit on your wrist. So for those of you watch fans out there, I'm sure you're very familiar with this situation, especially when you have a watch that is pretty heavy and typically on a rubber strap, and in the hot summer day you will feel that when you're sweating, the watch tends to get a little bit slippery and it slides and rolls all over your wrist. Alright, so you're wondering what you can do to prevent this problem. Now, of course, one of the solutions that you can have is to wear your watch very tightly. Alright, I'm gonna just show you what I'm talking about. So on this Seiko Tuna Homage I'm wearing now, I put it on the fourth hole from the 6 o'clock area, so this is pretty comfortable. Alright, I'm not gonna put it through the floating keeper, so just want to show you that this is very comfortable for me. Alright, so as I wear it and I show you here, it's very good. Alright, but if it starts to sweat, later on in the day in the hot afternoon sun, and the watch starts to slip up and down and just roll all over here, it gets a little bit annoying. What you can do is, yes, of course, you can strap it on a little bit tighter, and that sort of prevents the watch from running about, but then at the end of the day you're going to get like some serious marks on your wrist. Okay, so you can see here, that was only for about a few seconds and it's already starting to get very uncomfortable. And this problem is especially true when you've got watches that are bigger and heavier. Now, this Tuna Homage here is really heavy. I think it's about 140 grams without any bracelet, and the Samurai here, I think just over 100 grams. So these watches, I think, they tend to slip and slide a little bit when the weather is hot, especially when your wrists are sweating. And well, for some men out there, those of you who like to apply moisturizer, alright, like me, I moisturize my hands a lot, to keep them looking very young and supple. So I'm sure this problem will come across, and I'm going to show you a method, alright, to prevent or to stop the watch head from slipping and sliding on your wrist. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit and I'm going to show you the materials that we need for this Tuesday tip here. And we've got a good old tape here, and of course you need a pair of scissors. So the idea here is to paste a few layers of tape at the case back, but it's a very primitive method, but it works really well for me. So all you need to do is cut out a few squares of Scotch tape. So I've got one here. You don't want the jagged edges because they may cause some discomfort. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim away the jagged edges with a pair of scissors. Oh, I don't cut my own hand here because it's not easy to work that pair of scissors behind the camera lens. Okay, I'm going to try my best. Okay, so we got a nice, almost like a square here. Alright, it's not a perfect one, but you know what I'm saying. So let's use the Tuna Homage here as my sample watch. I'm going to paste this transparent tape on the case back, so it's going to cover the case back inscription a little bit. So this is one layer. Alright, I typically I shoot for about 2 to 3 layers. I think that will give me a better grip on the case back. And now this is the second layer of tape. So just paste it in the central area. Don't worry about wrapping all the way to the edge of the case. I don't think that's necessary. The important area would be this part of the case back here, which is directly in contact with your wrist. And now I'm going to shoot for a third layer. Okay, just to make sure that, you know, the effect is there so that the watch doesn't slip around, move about, you know, when I sweat after wearing this watch in the hot sun. Okay, so I think we're more or less good to go now. It's got 3 layers of clear Scotch tape on the case back. So now I've got the watch strapped on, and it is on the 4th hole, not the one that is slightly too tight. So this is snug fit, all right. And later on in the day, if I were to wear this in the hot sun, even if I were to sweat, okay, so this part here, due to the tape here, it sort of gives me a better grip, all right. So the effect is there, and it works pretty well for me. And here I am sharing this tip with you. So for those of you who have the same problem, okay, if you find that you're in between the strap holes, or there are some fans out there who don't like to wear their watches overly tight, so I recommend this method, because by pasting 2 or 3 layers of Scotch tape, you get a good fit and the watch doesn't slide around so much. Okay, now I can't hear you say thank you at your side, so I'm just gonna say you're most welcome. So I hope you find this tip that I've given you very helpful, and if you like this video, if you like this guy here, George, please give us a thumbs up and follow my channel. Thank you. I'll see you next week. This is the Watch Kaki. Bye bye.